prayer is everything when it comes to human sustenance.
Wonderful, Honorable. Great works there. How is the constituency doing, Chilubi? And every time when I talk about Chilubi, it reminds me of where I come from in Mpulungu. And
we have certain similarities.
We've got certain similarities, yes. But with us, our fish is done. There's no fish there. The fish that's there is very little.
Yes, your fish is concentrated mainly in some area there.
Sumbu area, yes.
And a lot of people say no Mpulungu Kapenta because there was a lot of Kapenta that used to come from there. But indeed, even now, the Kapenta that is coming from Nsumbu and the like is ending up in Mpulungu. Because Mpulungu happens to be connected to the third road. And commercially, it's more viable than where Nsumbu is. In Nsumbu, you pass through in summer and then you access in Nsumbu, which is difficult, and it's on a very difficult terrain. And where you are heading to Kaputa there, then you branch off Pamtundu, you go to Nsumbu.
And so is this the same with Chilubi? Do you still have a lot of fish on Lake Bangweulu?
Not a lot. I'll be cheating. Yes, we have something that is sustaining people, but the methods that our people have gotten involved in, mosquito nets and the like and so forth. And I think you also need to realize that the lake, which is connected to the international lake, your fish is not completely depleted. If you look at the fish in Lake Tanganyika, this side of Zambia, this side of Africa, to say, cutting out Burundi, cutting out the Yala Congo and many, the breeding areas around Nsumbu. Yes, that's where the breeding area is much. And I think there is preservation there because of Nsumbu National Park, which is guarded by Zawa. Okay, I always call it Zawa, though the name has changed, but Zawa is stuck in my mind. But when it comes to that area of Mpulungu, people have really overfished.
Is it the same on Bangweulu?
Yeah, you find that some of the areas, like when you're going towards Chaba, you find some breeds and some species, local species are still found there, especially when we are going into August, September, and when the water is not so cold. You'll have something for relish. But even commercial, people go in Mufutanda and those fishing camps to get something. But the methods are still bad. And those barriers they use, where they use fish baskets. In Bemba, we call it wamba. So when you look at that and think that is also bad, generally we need to restock our lakes.
Restocking of your lakes, but also every time there's a fish ban, do your local people
No, they don't follow. They don't follow. I'll be cheating if I say they follow.
So then what should
they don't follow? And I think it's not something that you can blame the fisheries department. No, it is just our behavior which needs to be looked at, and because we also need to be thinking about future generations. We are not the only ones who should consume the fish as we are living. We are getting old, and those that are behind us who also need to enjoy the same resource. Fish is not just a protein for sustenance of human body. It is also a commercial and an economic activity that needs to be cared for properly.
So our people also have to change the mindset. When it's fish ban, let them follow it to the latter.
And again, there is need that our people can also diversify their fishing mindset into fish farming. Where in our area we have a lot on the mainland or even on the island and even on the swamps, you can do fish farming using dams. Then on the island and on the lake, near the island, you can also do these fish cages. That would drive us away from these methods of just looking at fish as something that you can consume for today and forget for tomorrow.
Whilst we're still on Chilubi, your constituency, we listened to you in the National Assembly last week, where you updated the nation that Chilubi has got no functioning water ambulance that is coming through from the mainland to the island. And I had a chance also to talk to civil servants, and they told me that, look, these are the reasons as to why, even when we're posted to Chilubi Island, we don't want to go there. Because you can imagine, they don't have a water waking ambulance. What more these social amenities that we people in the town are gotten used to. But one question that they asked is that, what is the area member of parliament doing to ensure that some of these, seemingly looking like challenges are addressed, so that even civil servants are enticed to come to your constituency and serve?
Yes. When we look at the role of an MP, a lot of times we misunderstand the role of an MP in Zambia. And I think the role of an MP is enshrined in the constitution is to represent, legislate, as well as do oversight role. I know that when they say what is the NMP doing, a lot of people, because of the increment in CDF, they think that CDF is highly miraculous, which is not the case. And when we talk about Chilubi, it has got a lot of competing needs. Just recently, we acquired a small boat that was acquired, which stayed at Kasama. There were 3 of them. It overstayed there, which the minister erroneously referred to, which is broken because the base is leaking, and that's dangerous we're using on the lake. And we had to pay, I think, something like 420 on top. It was it was secured. 420,000
kwacha.
Yes, 420,000 kwacha. It was secured through the USAID. When they closed that project, it's like they said that they were even some asking of refunds from that particular project. I may not go in detail because I may not have all the details. Then those 3 boats got more stranded, and one of it was supposed to come to Chilubi, but it was not redeemed in terms of payment to the contractor, Mr. Mo. So we had to come in and pay. So because we thought it is essential, but it has also proved to be problematic. But that's a boat that the minister comfortably referred to, which is even packed.
Yeah, but
now when we
office.
look at the query from the workers, yes, they would say, what is the member of parliament doing? I think if you have followed my advocacy in parliament, I have done my part. And I think when you are speaking, I have never gone to Chilubi to say I would bring development using my pocket. We depend on government financing. The only problem is that currently they only seem to be CDF coming into Chilubi. We have seen other areas receiving other funds. I'm not trying to say I'm trying to point at a discriminating factor. Yes, it is. I think you even heard me complain that this answering of saying we will acquire a boat from Chilubi when we are acquiring for these other places. When other places are independently funded and there is no attachment with let's buy in bulk, because Chilubi has got its own unique challenges. And I think sometimes the workers and the civil servants may think I'm not doing much, but I have limitations on how far I can bid. I don't control the treasury. I can undo and bring to the pride of people of Chilubi to the attention of government.
Yeah, but Honorable,
yes.
out of 36.1 million kwacha, don't you think you can procure or even 2 water ambulances?
You are right. That money can be used for such, but you should also know what we receive from. What it is, we follow the law strictly in Chilubi.
What does the law say?
Yes, when we have the CDF Act, we also have the Local Government Act, which houses the WDC. When the WDC have generated the project list, we are supposed to listen. We have 24 words. And I am not supposed to impose, because I'm an MP, I'm not supposed to impose a project on people. I know this is happening elsewhere, but if it happened in Chilubi, I'll be called for auditing and possibly crime. So when we look at that, I'm very careful in making sure that I only do what is limited. And I think when we look at, when we sit as the CDF committee, we only look at proposals that have come from, though we ask these communities, don't you think this is also right? Because even in workers, we ask them that they can go in the community and submit under a particular word. Ask them, we do that. We have asked them about the hospital. We have asked them about different things, especially those things that are at the Boma. So how our civil servants should also participate is to advise us to see what of this. And when they advise us, we appoint, we direct them to a particular WDC, let's say in Impansha, where the Boma is. We tell them, no, go and see the Impansha WDC so that you include this as a requirement. So that when it comes to the CDF committee, it's not imposed, because the law says the WDC submits, then we approve, and then we take it to at at provincial level through the local government of the provincial local government officer, and that's the amended law. Now, going anything outside that, I'm a person who follow procedure. Going anything outside that, I know that
It's
some
not
of my
within your
MPs,
scope.
they have even given. We have seen where certain constituencies have been giving their spouses loans. That is a reality. Where they have been giving loans to their relatives, I can't go in there. I cannot go in there. These loans are for people. These, bursaries and other things, they are for people. And I think I should not abuse this borrowed power.
Before we come to the loans, I would like to get your opinion on these CDF loans. But also, generally, I had a conversation with a governance expert who expressed concern that these CDF projects or the CDF money is slowly substituting these capital projects that government
Not
should be
slowly.
funding.
They substituted.
Do you think that is the
they
case?
substituted the day they were increased. Look at this. For instance, when I was an MP, I came through a by-election. I was an MP in Chilubi in 2020. I think I was elected on 14th February, which you call Valentine's Day. In
Honorable,
2020.
you've forgotten the date when you were elected.
Eh?
14th February,
Yes.
right? Not you think. Not you think.
No, I don't think.
Okay, you're
That's
saying
when I
that you
was
think
elected.
I was elected.
Eh?
You're saying that
The first time I was elected in
Yes.
Chilubi as an MP, it was 14th February 2020.
Okay.
And when I was elected, of course, I found 1.1. But I found government, central government, pumping money in a lot of things. That was beyond the 1.6. And they had even roads, which our friends, when they came, they cancelled. So when you look at that, some of the roads were costing as much as 59 million. One road. One road, 59 million. And if it's the one from Kasonde Kombo to Ruangwa Ward, it costed it was costing more than 100 and something million. So when you look at that, that cannot be done by CDF. But the central government then were doing such things in Chilubi. They built a hospital at Chaba, more than the 1.6 billion. They built another hospital at Muchinch, and they brought in Loadsheding, which we are using now as a boat, which is a passenger boat, a 120 capacity boat. So when this CDF was said to have increased, you go and check the infrastructure money at Ministry of Education. It's not there. Go and check the money that was for Ministry of Education. Even used to produce a book of how they are building schools, how they are buying desks and so forth. Then you go to Ministry of Health. It's not there. So the interventions have been corrupted into CDF. Meaning, these ministries have been deprived of the money that they used to use for.
One may argue that with CDF, it's more of like not imposed development. You as a community decide what and how you want to develop your
Actually, there is
constituencies.
also a portion of imposition. Why I say so is that before you even receive CDF into a local account as a local authority, they have put in money that is supposed to go for desks. They have the so-called presidential directives. They have also cut in things like ambulances and the like. Now they are talking about those drilling machines for boreholes. The problem is the thinking.
But don't you think those are
No.
options?
Look, it's not all size fits all. It's not all size fits all.
But at least these are
I know that
necessities
even in
which
Chilubi, water is
consistency should
needed.
have. Yeah.
In some of the wards, water is needed. They want to be putting members of parliament and other people. Actually, when the CDF is successful, the members of parliament out of the picture. You find this is and the like are excited. When the CDF fails, a member of parliament is rebuked. That is the one who has failed. Or he or she is the one who has failed. But what they forget is that those things, they will give you already before the money is consumed. There must be chief fallacies. Those are good things. But you should consult also with the community. What is it that they need immediately at that point before you impose? It's an imposition. Actually, it goes against the very law of CDF that the project list.
These chief's palaces, is it in every year's allocation or it's just once off?
Not in every year's allocation. Of course, you see, it's very difficult to understand our friends, their policy drive. Because today they will say chief's palaces, the other day they will say every constituency should knock out 1 million for rural electrification. But where it's going properly, you can't trace. You can't. And then they'll tell you that they can't put solar. Meanwhile, you had knocked out the 1 million. So you are failing to understand. Though I know that in Chilubi we have two solar projects. The one at Mpopo Secondary School and the other one at Chava Secondary School. No, at Chava Mainland Hospital. But when we look at what we are contributing, where we have a problem is that we do not have the independence of using this money. Every time since it was introduced, it comes with conditions. First, in Lusaka, they have to...
Conditions or guidance?
That's not guidance.
One may say it's guidance.
That's not guidance. That's not guidance. When you say you can use the money this way, when you want to use, and you leave the freedom of use. Not where you say, this money has to be used this way, this amount should be used on this one. That is conditions.
Okay,
and I think
very quickly.
That fits, let me just lap up on this one. That actually defeats what is in Article 152 of the Constitution, which positions the local government authority to be in charge of projects in a district, and that the provincial and the national structures should not interfere. But such instructions interferes, and they are contrary to the Constitution.
Yes. One more thing on CDF before we get to the maize purchasing season. Just on Friday, the Vice President directed the Minister of Local Government to consider suspending the issuance of these CDF loans owing to the fact that there's been so many defaulters. With regards to CDF, I'm sure this is also happening in your constituency. Where do you think we have got it all wrong that we have a lot of defaulters when it comes to this CDF? And are you also in support of the Vice President who said maybe we should suspend this component until everyone repays the monies?
No, generally, there have even been a discussion, except that maybe she was not courageous enough to confirm that 2026 there will be no loans, there will only be grants. But even then, I can tell you that I am not a person who believes in a parasite kind of arrangement. When we are giving these cooperatives money, it's a good thing and it's meant to empower them. But I can tell you that they share the money right the moment they have gotten. They will write that they will have Ichigayo, or is it Amamiu? They will buy Amamiu. When they have just gotten, if it's in Chilubi, when they have just gotten the money from Natsev, they will share right there. This one goes home and the other one goes home. That's not empowerment. It's wastage. It's really wastage. I will tell you that in Chilubi, loans are even performing better than grants. Such that I would have thought that maybe the component that would have been dealt away with is the component of grants. It's becoming economic wastage because they are just sharing and they are not putting up. They will say that we will have a chicken line. The moment you give them the money, they share. And the story ends like that. So it's just a silent way of appeasing citizens. We are not courageous enough to say this money is not needed to be. I need more classrooms. I need more waterborne ablutions in Chilubi. I need roads. I need other things. And when I see people sharing money like that, which is supposed to be spent on embankments, which is supposed to be spent on things that can leverage their development in a larger picture, my heart bleeds.
So for you,
and I am powerless because I can't do anything. It's a government policy.
That we get rid of grants.
No, yes. If I was me, I am a people-centered person. But I'm a people-centered person with a productive mind. I want people to use the money for what they have applied for. For instance, maybe it's because I'm coming from the NGO background where we used to, if you get money from a donor, you have to account for it. If it's a workshop, you have to break down every way of how you have used it. That is how I've grown. And I think to see people sharing money, government, this is what has even gone, it's an attitude that has even gone Kumaloni, where if they get that money, they think it's for government. But I can tell you that some of the businessmen in Chilubi and some of the people that are in the hotel industry in Chilubi have something they can point at, that this is how they use the loan. And they are repairing. So for you, we get rid of the grants and loans altogether. We would have restructured the loans properly and the grants mwebantu tuleona urafendarama. Ukulanda vechinka. because people just share the money. I know that every government has got a particular appeasement program where they appease people and people have to get that. I know that, you see, saying this as an MP, I can become very unpopular with those that are benefiting from the grants. But we need to know that government monies are not supposed to be wasted. Like in Chilubi, I have a lot of problems. I have a lot of challenges. That when I see people, for instance, we allocate 3 million, and we need to buy machinery for roads and the like, then 3 million goes into grants and people just share it. You can only account for one poultry. The rest is not there. What have we done? Yeah, right. So we need to even realize as Chilubi people that we are wasting money, and then we do an overturn and insult leaders and abuse leaders that are not doing anything, when that money is supposed to go into developmental issues. Grants, to me, would have been affected and would have restructured the loan factor to see how maybe they would have said, but for anyone to access a loan,
looking at how things have
for anyone to access a loan,
it is justifiable for government to go that route, right?
Yes. No, when you look at the loans, I think they were misinformed. We would have gone a route into structuring the loans, as opposed to we scrap off the grant factor. We say anyone to get a loan, at least they can even bring some collateral, or they can be monitored and the like. Do you know that even these workers of the local authority, on grants, they are so relaxed. They don't even make follow-ups to say those who got grants. They just say, that was free money, so we cannot, it is not going to be recovered. So they don't even pay attention. They will simply look at where buildings are supposed to be, who is building what as a contractor. And they also look at issues of who, in this case, is trying to look at who got a loan, what is it that they are doing in it, because the loan has to be recovered.
Yeah.
Yes,
but we'll have to move on because of time. But thank you so much on Chilubi, and just touching base with your constituency. Very quickly, let's also move to something that also borders on your constituency, but the rest of the country. The Food Reserve Agency, as of last week, announced that they are now getting into the market. All the satellite depots across the country have been opened to purchase this maize. But this particular exercise has now come with a condition for farmers that recipients of inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, have been directed that for you to qualify to the next list, for you to be on FISIP the next farming season, you have to sell at least 10 50 kg bags of maize to the agency. What do you make of that directive?
No, actually, that is a very, very conflicting thing. These are people that are boasting about having produced 3.6 million metric tons. And if they have produced
3.5.
Yes, 3.5 metric tons. My brother, the people that have benefited from FISIP are 1,024,000. Isn't it? According to the statistics. And if it's 1,024,000, you multiply 10 by 1,024,000. How much do you get? It's crazy. It's not even thinking. You see, sometimes some of these things, when you say them, you should first weigh, even mathematically. It feels that's on that score.
For the farmers.
Even when they say one bag.
That have benefited from FISIP is over 1 million, right?
Yes.
And if they sell by 10.
Yes.
Because government is buying 500.
Yes.
Thousand.
No. I'm coming to that.
Okay.
To that factor.
Okay.
I'm just presenting to you that mathematical crisis, where the farmers are 1,024,000, and then you say 10 bags each. Then you are saying you are only going to buy 500, and this is even probability doesn't allow us. They have not lined up. These farmers have got different capacities. Some of them may take the maize area before they stop buying. Some of them may be later, meaning that the other people that didn't even get this FISIP thing can get their maize area there. For instance, I didn't get my FISIP. I didn't get FISIP. I had farmed, but I'm also supposed to sell. And if I've maize, and these people have confused the market.
How?
By the increment of a 10 kwacha, because the market has got anticipation. People are anticipating that at least there will be an increment of 50 kwacha or so. Now, they have made most of the farmers, the subsistence farmers, vulnerable to the briefcase businessman, because what they have done is that they have caused congestion at depots, and people are now getting tired, so people want to get anything out of their sweat. They have started selling elsewhere, and I think government should be very careful on this one. I know the other one goes to Congo and says, me, I've found the market. Then FRA says we are going to sell 1 million metric tons. The Minister of Agriculture says no, it's 500 metric tons. Meaning that if it is 500 metric tons, for instance, we are remaining with 3.1. Who buys that? In which custody is that maize? We can't say we are food secure when this maize in the hands of, maybe they want to do like they did that other year when they caused poverty in Zambia, where they had to give this export permits indiscriminately to cadres, and they had to sell maize like no man's business. Maybe that's what they want to do. They want to empower their cadres. If they don't want to buy the maize, they have to facilitate for farmers, even by outgrower system arrangement, where they have to sell this maize to the international community where it's needed. But the same, I mean, is it Section 5 allows the FRA to engage in the Section 5 of the FRA Act allows FRA to market such things on behalf of the people. So they can even buy maize for sale. They can even say, okay, bring the maize, we will buy this much, and then the government can sell on behalf of the people. But meanwhile, when they sell, the proceeds go to the people. But this kind of kafwafwa, this kind of confusion is going to discourage farmers. What they should know is that the main factor that contributed to the bumper harvest they are boasting about is the way God distributed rainfall in the 3 agroecological zones. That is agroecological zone number 1, agroecological zone number 2, agroecological zone number 3. It's not about their policies. It has nothing to do with that. Let us be serious.
Yeah, but
because
they also did encourage.
Well, they encourage farmers,
yeah?
But
the issue of the honorable.
You see, rain-fed farming is also boosted by fertilizer. The fertilizer was still cockeye. I mean, people are still getting in gallons. Do you know what has happened? There are these old cooperatives and the new cooperatives. And the new cooperatives are also struggling with old cooperatives. And there is a silent attitude problem where they feel, like in my area, they feel that old cooperatives belong to PF. And they have to put in new cooperatives which belong to UPND. And you have to find that sometimes the UPND elements in Chilubi are having a lot of fertilizer which they can't even use. Some of them are less people. I'm saying some of them are less people, not all of them. Yes. And that is the reality. That's because of this manipulation of cooperative.
Let me get.
Yes.
If. I know ifs don't work, but if you are Minister of Agriculture in this particular moment, as a government, you've announced that you're going to buy 500,000 metric tons. You've already talked about, arguably, if it's 3.1 or 3 million metric tons of maize, that's going to be left with these farmers. As Minister of Agriculture, what can you do different that this government is doing so that
what I can do different first to start with, I will not make an announcement about the 10 bags, which is not even feasible. It's not tarrying, because it does not guarantee that a farmer would even sell that maize. It is not even looking at how much we have produced. It's more than, if we say the number of FISIP, unless we are talking about the FISP beneficiaries are not 1 million. But if they're 1 million and each one of them is going to contribute 10 bags, that's 10 million metric tons. When we are producing 3.6 metric tons, does it make sense to you? It doesn't. It is just a statement you throw in the air and you want to comfort people. Then another thing is that if I was a farmer, if I was a Minister of Agriculture, I wouldn't venture into saying we are going to buy 500 metric tons. No. I would venture in making sure that I negotiate with millers. Let us make feed. Let us also produce meal and the like. We export. So
you would mop up the
Yes, I would mop up on behalf of the farmers. I would mop up and convert into finished product. And when I convert into finished product, in these industries, as they are making feed, as they're making mayeu, as they're making all sorts of byproducts that come from maize, they're also creating employment for young people. And when they were exporting, we are also having a balance on payment properly. They export. We export maize products. Will join copper in terms of traditional export. The IC traditional export. Will join copper in terms of bringing export volumes.
So, if you're Minister of Agriculture, you'd also export the maize that should mop up from the farmers, right?
I will not export the maize directly. I would add value using the mirrors data.
Okay.
We have got these ZNS mirrors. We also have, if you look at the cost of feed. Me, I'm a farmer. I'm a fish farmer. It is very high, but they are trying to control meal when the cost of feed is skyrocketing.
Yeah.
So I would flood the market with feed also, so that the cost goes down, so that you can buy your chicken at an affordable price. You can buy your fish at an affordable price, and other livestock products at an affordable price. Because maize is a base material.
So, Honorable, coming from your explanation, so then a farmer who's listening to you is saying, so then, Honorable, if you are Minister of Agriculture, meaning there's no chance for us to export, because as we speak, there are others that are happy that only 500 metric tons is going to FRA, but we also want export.
Yes, I only talked about one measure.
They say exporting, you get more of the real deal when it comes to
look,
money,
my brother, I only talked about
FRA.
one measure, that of convention, which is the VAT addition. But again, we are dealing with a liberalized economy. You don't control people like we in a commandist economy, like Wakaunda towards pricey fixing and price control, because there was a price control act. Now, on another measure is that I'll facilitate market linkages for those that would like to save their money. Maybe I will have a common trader that, for instance, is mopping maize from Chilubi for those that would like to export. And there it's receipted. I would go in Rubansenshi, I would go in Rupososha and Sanfi and other areas that are surrounding there, and make sure that we have got these marketing linkages that are clear, like Mushika and all those factors that are credible. That are going to is it Agriflow, that one which fronts the international what? Those which are known, which are credible. I will negotiate, I will do a memorandum of understanding with the government to facilitate for the people. Because a poor man like myself from Chilubi, who doesn't even have a truck, sorry, who doesn't even have a truck, and who doesn't even have anything to take to the border, so that my maize can close to the border, either as finished product or as raw material. I will not have the capacity. So we need to regroup this maize from the peasant farmers and find a common buffer which should facilitate export.
Okay.
And that will be another measure. But more so is value addition on the maize. And I can tell you that preservation of the same maize will be a problem, because 3.1 is a lot of maize. If you leave it in the market and say whoever buys, let them buy. And again, you see, government needs to say we are food secure when they are holding something, not when they are not holding anything, not when they are not in control of anything. We don't want farmers to be exploited by businessmen, by briefcase men, because they don't have the capacity to export on their own. We don't want farmers to be exploited because after they have waited Pamashedi, they have slept there several days, they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then they decide that let me just even sell a 50 kg bag at 200. I mean, I was in Eastern Province recently, I found that behavior. I was also in Southern Province, where they were selling maize area. They were selling a 50 kg at 200 bag. And that's a market.
And also in government's defense, they say we had to do this because the moisture levels in some areas where we want to buy this maize from is not recommended. That's why
moisture content, they may be right on that score, but moisture content is only supposed to be.
So then we'll give them a benefit of doubt. If they're right
on
that score.
But these are same people that he said PF left in Congolese, we are the ones who are buying maize. What they don't realize, if you look at where they have been complaining, the elections for 2021, were held when? 12th August. That's when they were held. By that time, the maize marketing has just started picking up, like it is picking up now, because of the moisture content. But they were accusing PF of having left maize not bought when they know moisture content also as a play on aflatoxins. Those are that aflatoxin where you are eating this poisonous maize, because the maize will react when it's not properly stored, and the aflatoxin comes in. Now they accuse their friends that when they came in power in August, whom did they want to buy? Because the moisture content was not low by the time the PF was leaving. So let us be the same measure you use on your friends, you would be using to you. And I think let us live by that principle. Now they are talking about the moisture content. It was not moisture content for PF, whom they have always been accusing. No, even when they left the maize, we are the ones who bought. Who bought? Government is a going concern. Government is a going concern. So when when there is another person who takes over Chilubi as an MP, and they find I've done a bit of work here and there, and some of it is not finished, they have the right to finish.
Yeah.
They have the obligation to finish the work. And that has to be done. And the same applies. And I think when you look at the moisture content, to be truthful, the moisture content is only proper in Zambia around August. And they should not be making statements like, no, we are opening the market, we are opening. They should just be bold enough and courageous enough and tell the farmers, Bane, mulete amataba first August, punish na mchitana underestimate, because they have even poor sampling arrangement.
Yeah, but then when they say 1st August, you're going to complain that they're taking too long.
No, but you see,
now
communication is also
to
my brother,
take advantage of them.
My brother,
which one is which?
Where they have caused a negative impact is this way. You don't announce. You announce that you are going to buy maize area, isn't it? You have farmers going to the shed. Some of them coming from far distances, buying their own relish, looking at where to sleep, and having extra costs apart from the maize they are going to sell. They buy their own sacks. They pay the cost of transporting the maize to the market, to the what? Then you announce area. Then farmers go and team up there. And they are surviving on their own. No one is feeding them. And then you announce in July, and maybe the first week of July, the farmers stay there for a month, and then you start selling in August. Isn't it the same? Why not have the courage to say, maize wane tukamba fyo kushita mlandora moisture content turamba fyo kushita, we want to be sure we are just going to start buying on 1st August.
Are you sure then you want to criticize government as taking
well,
too long
if they are going to do something
into the market,
if they are going to do something that is not going to make some farmers more stressed and incurring costs, I mean, I'm a very logical person. I will not criticize.
Okay, all right.
Because if they are going to say moisture content and it's justified, ngatabapile fye balanda fati moisture content ngaterupya rubafishe ngefine rubafishe balanda fati moisture content. And
okay,
then when they say moisture content,
let's take a breather, Honorable.
Yes.
You are still listening to Monday's edition of Chat Back right here on Radio Christian Voice. My name is Angel Kasabo, and I'm privileged to be joined by Chilubi Member of Parliament, Honorable Mulenga Fube. And this morning we are looking at national matters, narrowing it down to the livelihood of farmers, CDF, and also later on we'll look at the Lands and Registry Bill Amendment 2025. So for your contributions, you can come through on Facebook. On Facebook, it is RCV News. RCV News is a platform where we post everything current affairs. Then also the number is 0956 200490. That's the number that you can get in touch with the studio. All right, let's move on from the farmers. I would like to get your reasoning behind the motion that you pushed in Parliament to reintroduce the death swab for civil servants. Now, we saw that particular motion was shot down in Parliament. But maybe let's start from the onset. Why did you push for such a motion that there should be a reintroduction of the death swab for civil servants?
Well, my contact with the civil service, as I was a DC, if you may remember, I think from 2015 to 2019, I was a district commissioner in Chilubi by the good people of Kaputa's courtesy and the former president who thought that I can save my soul rest in peace. I came to understand the challenges of the civil servants. And I think me, I've been an activist for people for a longer period. I should not abandon the mission to fight for people because I'm in parliament. I should not abandon for the mission to fight for people the plight that I understand because I'm in parliament. No, things don't go that way. I think me, I'm drunk with what is written in Matthew 25, the 31 to 46. I was thirsty, you gave me food. I was hungry, I was thirsty, you gave me water. I was hungry, you gave me food. I was homeless, you accommodated me. And I think I was naked, you clothed me. And I was in prison, you visited me. I was in hospital, you visited me. And he said, it further says, whatever you did to the rest of my brothers, that you did unto me. Out of the 20 million people, I've been given a privilege to be an MP. And we are supposed to represent, registrate, and do oversight law. And also approve the budget. And I think when we are looking at this, we also have a machinery called the civil service, which is working day and night. And I think what they are getting, they buy from the same shops we buy from. They face the same inflation. They face the same high skyrocketing of fuel and many other factors. They have children to send to school. And they are in this economy, which is suffocating, but of course a color is painted that the economy is doing fine. And the civil servants, when they go, they come from, they have this 8-hour time. They spend much at work. And for them to do, yes, I know there are a lot of them that are doing businesses by the grace of God, those that are investing the salary and the like, but many of them are stressed, especially the majority in the lower ranks. The teachers, the nurses, the cleaners, the sweepers, the clerks, the what? They are stressed. They survive on loans from Israel. I can mention a lot of microfinance. I mean, I used to endorse on those papers where the DC has to endorse to recommend for a civil servant to get a loan. When I have been given an opportunity by God to speak for them, why not? That is one of the motivation.
Yeah.
And I think that being the motivation, I also need to know the reality of the economy. For instance, the civil servants or the financial institutions, 27 billion, right? Government also owes the civil servants some money in allowances and many other factors. The civil servants have also got security of tenure. In this case, security of tenure may also include components like gratuity and pensions, where they have some financial security, which they are working for. And they have borrowed from this. They are the ones, they have borrowed as individuals. These institutions they have borrowed from also owe government money. In terms of run rate, water, electricity, and many other factors.
Yeah.
Because some of them are actually trading, even trading licenses, many factors, depending on which products they are dealing in. Some of them have expanded their portfolio beyond financing or providing finances. Now, if this were the government, what we envisaged with my friend Honorable Sande Chanda and other people that supported the motion is a situation where we have the 27 billion here. Then you calculate how much do those institutions owe government. I know it may be less, it may be more. You start knocking out. And they're like, that is not just, it was not meant to be a permanent measure. It was meant to be a temporal measure. Because we also don't want to create a civil service that can borrow irresponsibly.
Yeah.
We also want to create, if they have a relief, there's some education that is given to them. There are options, economic options that is given to them. Because these are human beings who continue consuming, who continue spending on services, and many other factors.
Let's also look at the reason as to why majority of the debaters that were not in support of this motion. One key word that I heard from all of them was, it's not sustainable. There is no money to fund this particular project.
Yeah.
And then after that, I tried to do interviews as RCV News. We tried to do interviews, and we got a perception from the people that it was a good idea that it was shut down because they feel that majority of civil servants don't live within their means. Do you think that is true?
We don't understand the civil service. We can't say the civil servants, they don't live within their means. The civil servants are just living like you and me. Do we live within our means? We don't. Do you know why we don't live within our means? What we get and what we spend are parallels. Because For instance, I may be getting higher than your salary. I have a lot of people that depend on me. That is Zambia. That's Africa. Even when you get, say, 15,000, then the monthly food basket is saying 9,000 kwacha here in Lusaka. You see? 9,000 kwacha. And then you have got school fees and other things. Can you live within your means? This thing of not living within their means. The civil servants are human beings. They also need to drink as human beings. They also need to eat. They also need to do these other things that are in human life. They're human beings. But the moment you start thinking they don't live within their means, we don't give them enough money to live within their means. That is the thing. The only person that demonstrated...
But honorable, money will never be enough.
Yes,
regardless
but look,
of
but
your
look,
profession.
We need to reward them in a manner that matches with the inflation, that matches with the economy. Currently, everybody in Zambia is just surviving because things are too expensive for people to survive.
Your time during DC, when you're endorsing for these loans, majority of these civil servants had said, by then DC, I want to get a loan. What were these loans for?
Some of them would buy vehicles. Some of them wanted to do loans for businesses. Some of them were getting emergency loans to take a child to school, to university, because not all children are sponsored to go to university. So to actually think that civil servants just get money to go and drink, irresponsible, the way I was hearing some of the debaters in parliament, where they were saying, no, these civil servants have become very responsible. Irresponsible, muntu saving at irresponsible. These are people that save us. Who is a civil servant anyway? Even at parliament, some of those can qualify to be a civil servant. Then you call them irresponsible. That they borrow for responsibility. If you talk Kongola MPs, do we borrow for? We actually have got a lot of loans also. Do they call us irresponsible? For anyone is borrowing, the country is borrowing. What of a civil servant? If a country is borrowing, now even that other yesterday we are receiving 184 million from IMF. We have received from 2022 to today 1.55 billion from IMF and other debtors. Then you want to say a civil servant should not borrow when you are borrowing as a country to sustain yourself. And whenever we borrow, we are saying we are sustaining the economy. Can't a civil servant borrow to create a pottery? Can't a civil servant borrow to facilitate their movement? So when they borrow, let us not victimize them that they are borrowing in Nanikane. You see? They also want to stay well. They also want to buy ice cream. Na bread walafuaya. Na waposa pale ice cream shawo panto wala bombela bakalipela beka. All we are calling for them is a relief where we are even got models where if a civil servant is supposed to pay this money maybe possibly in 12 months and they are cutting if the civil servant is take home is 6 pin bale funyamo 3,000 kwacha ale aneshi nono. What we are calling for is to spread that for a longer period. Government negotiates through Section 69 of the Industrial Labours Relations Act, Industrial Relations Labours Act. Then, if that was negotiated through Section 69, then these people who cancelled, and I heard the Honorable Sokotwane says it was cancelled during PF. No. The debt swap was cancelled on 26th May 2022. That PF was out of power by then. And they used the Section 72 of the Industrial Relations Industrial Relations Act, which they facilitated to where government can under that tripartite.
So honorable.
So for us to be saying it is responding to the economic hardships, and for us to respond to the economic hardships, for us to give the civil servants a bit of fiscal resilience, we said that we should have them first have a relief. You saw. I'll give you an example. When Dr. Levi Mwanawasa and may rest in peace, and Mr. Magande were coming in as as president and finance minister. That time, some of us were I have not started talking about debt swap or debt cancellation now. It is something that has been in me. I think that time I was in Jubilee 2000, which was calling for Zambia's debt cancellation, which was even cancelled.
You're,
By the
you're
time
also planning on throwing another motion to cancel the debt for civil servants?
No. I did not say cancel.
Okay.
I said swap.
Okay.
So debt swap, that is what was misunderstood. And it was debt swap. So I'm just trying to give you a background.
Very quickly.
That the debt issue, I have even interfaced at national level. When we were in Jubilee 2000, we were calling for debt cancellation. And consistently our voices achieved something, which made even Ibalevi Mwanawasa and Dr. Magande to look like they are performing economically because debt was cancelled and the government had some relief. So when we look at that, you remember that Makaunda left $7 billion. And that was an overflow into the MMD. And we emphasize that debt should be cancelled. When you have a relief, you have a starting point. So what we are trying to talk about with the civil servant is that this money would have created a mode to give them a temporary relief, and then we would have looked for a way to recover the monies from their
so Honourable, seeing that your motion was shot down in Parliament, what is the way forward? Because you've talked about the reasons as to why civil servants borrow this money. Others, it's just an addition of survival. But others, you've rightly said, others buy vehicles, others also want to feel good. And there's all these other reasons. But especially for the people that debated against the motion, they were saying a lot of wastage by these civil servants, that look, at the end of the day, you are a civil servant, you borrow this money, you should have a plan on how to repay this money. So why do you want government to come and give you a relief over the money that you've borrowed yourself and you should repay? So what is the way forward, seeing that this motion
you know why the motion even came in? It's because these people are still working with government. And if they are demotivated because of debts, because of economic pressure, they will affect government work. And that's the rationale. And what we wanted is to look for a safety valve so that this can have a temporary relief as they are trying to organize themselves. Those who are wise can come out of debt when they have a relief. Those, of course, not everybody uses the money properly. Some of them would use the money for other things. They would borrow for a vehicle and then they have a different emergency to answer. And the money is wasted like that. But I think it is also not right to call them irresponsible. It is not right to say that they borrow to go and drink. No. These are people with needs, real needs. They have children they have taken to school. They are responding to sicknesses. Some of the people that we used to get loans when I was DC, they have a mother who has been sick with diabetes and BP. She's sick. She needs some referral. And where they have been referred to, they have to pay that much. They have to get a loan to help the mother sustain their lives. So let us put a human face wherever we are dealing with these factors. Let us not trivialize people's affairs. It's dangerous to trivialize people's affairs. Yeah.
All right. Very quickly, before we get to the phone lines, let me quickly get your preliminary thoughts on what has been making headlines for the past weekend. This has to do with the Lands and Registry Bill Amendment of 2025, and I have a copy of it here. It's a short bill. It's not like the other ones that we had. So let me just get from you your reaction to this particular bill. If you have read it in depth, and also what you are getting from this bill, then I'll come with the concerns that people have raised on this particular bill. That's currently on the floor of the House.
Yes, this bill is a bad bill. Very bad bill. It is informed with bad intention. Why I say it is informed with bad intention is that the titling system, first let me start from here. Land is a responsibility of the president, according to Lands Act, that all of us have banked the trust stewardship of land into the president's name. And whoever is the president holds land on behalf of the Zambians. And I think it's irresponsible for anyone to be targeting certain areas and then you say, no, this area, the titles are already there and they like. As a president, there is need that you exercise some resilience, restraint in the way we are doing things. We have seen that our friends have started lawfare, so to speak, in making sure that when they want to silence people, they'll bring cyber laws and the like. Now, what they are simply saying, there is what is called simple fee. Simple fee is a system where you actually give a title, and the ones who give titles legally, if we are to just analyze properly, the registrar is a conduit of government, is an agent of government. The one who give a title is the president. Those just give titles on behalf of the president, because the president is a custodian of our land. Even when it's converted from customary land into state land, the president is all titled land is the president. Meaning, it is presidents, past presidents who had given land to the Zambians. It means you were soiling the authority in the presidency, not a particular president like Lungu, not a particular president like Sata, Rupia Banda, Kaunda, or anyone. We are soiling the presidency by making sure that we corrupt the powers into a registrar to cancel title. What does it entail? It entails that an higher authority like the president, who is holding our land in trust, in his stewardship, gives a title. By the way, those titles are reward. It's reward system, where you have maybe maximum 99 years. It is still state, meaning it can be it's still state land that has just been listed to you. And there is 99 because many of us don't even live by 99 years. And those lists can, of course, be revised, isn't it? Now, when a person has received title, it means that they have received land, the land has been listed to them from the state. So, now, how do you cancel such? It doesn't even make sense. And I think there is a letter that I think you would have also read, which is circulating, which is talking about those plots in Palavana. And you know why Palavana?
No.
Do you know why Palavana?
No.
That is near where Balungu built. Let us be serious. We cannot be making laws to target individuals.
So you
there
feel
is even a letter that
so
has
you feel
asked
this particular bill is to target individuals?
If you can allow me to read the letter.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be malicious.
Yeah, you can read it.
Let me read the letter so that I am not malicious.
So this particular bill gives rights or powers to the registrar.
Okay. Going by the letter that was authored when? On 2nd June.
To cancel a certificate of title.
Yes. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Going by the letter which was authored on 2nd June, 2025. And I think this is the Minister of Lands and the like addressed to okay, let me not look at that. I'll simply gloss on that one. But the one who signed is Lynn S. Abanji, Mrs. Lynn S. Abanji. That time she was the Commissioner of Lands. Meaning that this Commissioner of Lands who has been put there has just been there for less than a month. You hear me? Now, you look at this. This letter is asking for people from... They say, kindly note that an investigation by the Anti-Corruption Commission was established that plot number blah 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 blah. I don't want to read the was erroneously created as the land in question was designated for industrial use and future expansion of Palavana. And in light of this, you are kindly requested to voluntarily surrender the certificate of title for the said property within next 14 days to facilitate restoration of land to its intended purpose. This is illegality.
Where is this letter coming from?
It's coming from the Minister of Land.
And
the one who signed it's directed to a person occupying the...
Okay.
Yes, I don't want to jeopardize...
Okay.
Yes. So... It should further be noted that this letter will serve as a preliminary demand notice in accordance with the Order 6, Rule number 4, Clause 1, Clause D of the High Court Amendment Rules 2020. And they quote the law when they want really to abuse the law. They will go to detail to quote the law. And when you look at these factors, this is not helping Zambia. Cancellation of title. You know, before you talk about cancellation of title, we have a process in the way that we get the title. And I think, as I've already demonstrated, the land is in the name of the president.
Yeah, and when you say cancellation of title, when I'm looking at this bill, that's 52A, is this section C? Obtained on why the titles are going to be cancelled, on what?
So does that bill even
obtained through fraud, misrepresentation, or concealment of a material fact? Others may
but look, these people are suffering from these people are suffering from poverty of the mind. When Zambians have been empowered and they have, how many of them are going to investigate? This kind of poverty of the mind should be stopped. How many are they going to investigate about land ownership, especially that these are Zambians? There are a lot of people that have gotten land, and the process of getting a title is long. Why didn't they? So they are trying to say that all the past governments were not doing due diligence to arrive at a land title. It is only them that are good. This kind of poverty of the mind should stop. They are disempowering Zambians. And I think we should stop this bill. It's going to kill Zambians. Because obtained, and the one who is going to suggest whether that is fraudulently obtained, these pieces of land they're going to grab are going to end up in the hands of cadres. Not anyone, but cadres. So, look, this same bill, read if it has got objectives. Read. A bill should have proper objectives. Does it have objectives? Doesn't have. Read where the objectives are. Read. So it is a malicious bill. It is a bill that is meant to facilitate fat cows. It is a bill that wants to facilitate corruption. It wants to grab land and give it to other people. Because someone has admired some land which is in the Nankani. This kind of theft is bad and it should be stopped in Zambia.
Okay, let's get to the phone lines. 0956-200-490, 0956-200-490. That's the number that you can give us a call on, 0956-200-490. You can also come through on our Facebook page, that is RCV News, platform where we post everything current affairs. Hello, good morning. You are through to the program.
Hello?
Yes, your name and where you're calling us from?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mwabuka. Mwabuka Mdala.
Nauka, Kamweo.
Mwabuka, this is Mr. in the Southern Province in Monze District. Konzera vamine mwakamba vonse. Amene mwakambira. Inetemeri fora kukamba chebe so nifuna kutasha ku government. PF kukongola ndalama. Nizo kamba pankani yo kongola ndalama. PF balizo kukongola ndalama. Ivijani vamene vanachita. PF. Vanasiya vintu vambiri maskulu ma clinic inengu. Ali mu window level pakalibe usikiziza. UPND pamene inangena inachita branch inasikiziza onse machani ma project amene anasiya ba PF. Then kuri konkola kopa mine kuri vina ngwezo na events vala ba PF anabona bachita ba UPND basegula. Vose vichani vachani vamushe. Anje funza mbele nifuna kufunza nyakuti yemene bakamba ku South Africa yakukamba kuti the president ba Zambians vayeneka bachite apologize for what kuna kuziva ikancha mene banada akwa president vakainde ichile manaba president wa UPND chakuti vaende ku South Africa wakachite apologize. Mwana wako ni mwana wako.
Okay.
Ilekera wachita branch.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Chinda, for your contribution. We've got your text, your question, though it's pretty much not in the scope of what we.
No,
talked
but
about.
I can tackle him. I can really tackle him.
Okay. I'll give you a chance to respond to him.
Can I just have what to write?
Let's get as many calls as we can, and then we'll allow you to come in. So that's Mr. Chinda from Southern Province in Monza. Hello, good morning.
Yes, brother, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Na ufa number 1 na ufa bwino pakunja superphone and Africa. Ivash precious kumpa abantu ko bale churisha sana.
Emko Ivash precious.
Honorable,
Entamkai.
Number 1 ndio honorable. radio. Lelo mo bayishila ba UPND parliament radio yakwaba. Twale miyufu wako. Tunga na radio mutumba, tunga na TV mutumba. The parliament radio bayisha ku TV amala itakwaba. So, ole mwala mu parliament. Tumbere niko kwa abantu abena Zambia batu mu Zambia. Kwa parliament radio. Tubaleka tubaleka fatenga tubaleka baona le pa juma ngabalanda abena ka ngombe. So, ni wana le ichalo nachilipa. Mungu le tribalism ile ya utamuru. Yote ni kumupatu abantu refuse kanchachi kuchalo cha Zambia. Bali utuka mchalo chao. Example Kaiza Zulu, Jeje Banda, Rakita Kaiza utuka mchalo cha Zambia. Then ukuja kuiba tatila ukucha awama. Bale kwa wachitela nikaze but shati. Bajaji wala kulali kwa mtu kesiti. Abantu
Okay. Network. Oh. Okay. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you, sir?
Very well. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Okay, this is Chilubi Raymond calling from Kitu.
Yes, Mr. Raymond.
Yes, sir. Coming. Good morning, Honorable.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Yes. Well, issue of CDF may have always been against the idea of bragging over increasing CDF to whatever amount. Because if you look at your loans, those loans were given to cadres. And I would like you, Anjo, to at least invite an expert from the UPND. We are on the road for sure. Okay. These people are supposed to bring in solutions instead of just adding problems. Instead of thinking of buying gen sets at least to help those that are running weldings and salons, okay. And then, abantu abashukwete financial literacy obanku pay in the so I am experiments with IPND variation that it's very sad that it's very sad that government no mambo pangama mambo kutompewa kama laws are target my individuals. The same government abali for kushtisha land in province kuli foreigner they roba kwata problem in Zambia kwata land. It's very sad. I just pray that yeah, thanks very much.
All right, thank you so much, Baba Raymond. Thank you so much. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Angel.
Yes, your name and where are you calling us from?
Bashmalan in Kopabel.
Yes, Bashmalan, go ahead with the contribution.
Good morning, this Honorable.
Good morning, sir.
Uchushire kunatwale chula sana. Ba president muvebyo kwebati abantu bale chule fu mwala ile. Mwalifio kufikirisha. So mbele kyabena Zambia balera kwebati umwako in bye bye. Mlandu wakwebati fingi sana. Amala itinga kuma 23 kachero ya kuma 0 ya nombo mwina Zambia alabomba mushiranchi uli wapasaluni uli hala bombeshi ulebeshe mshishala bombeshi payo debala bombeshi contrary pintu bala ile kupanga opposite bafirwa abantu aba so please Honorable ikatane ni ba PF wangu musale kateka wakutuminako abena Zambia balefu ayo kuchinja uteko panta mwamu no buchushi nga bwachira apatu kambo kuli abana beso ba UPN kufira kwena mwandini na abafirwa nga batontonka nyafi kuti bande fekwe bachawe weekend pofe bifu mwandini chatu shupe chalo kuteka.
All right, thank you so much, Bashmalan. We'll have to let you go. Thank you so much for your contribution. Really appreciate. Hello, good morning. You are through to the program. Just two more calls. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Chanda, I'm calling from Dora.
Yes, Chanda, go ahead with the contribution.
Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Honorable, I'm London Sana. We're going to party issue and state Pere Nani Dora registrar of runs kahlelwa commission of runs ama-powers nahambi but kokhele futhi ku-runs okuthiwa umva ukuthi bekho abafuthi na problem yaba ku-run yini yaba ku-run yaba issue yama-runs mantipele futhi amakayendi ya shintisho letfombe kuno kuyona nomba bawo futhi in the questioning kwetene yapha ama-rights imwe noma isabuyela ngesatisfaction fact ama-rights yakabuyela esekuno kuyona for nomo ukulanda isinto nani exactly not ukushaya the political language kaiwa issue party kariba already ngikutoka kariba yaba sa sustainable so imifumo kesatha ino kama bwera futhi kwama sechinga pantu nani loadshedding na mkinga kuthaye na right bashisha kunani yetia kwane zonse chako.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your contribution. Hello, good morning. You are through to the program.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and where are you calling us from?
Lamek.
Mr. Lamek, calling us from where? Mkwai, go ahead with the contribution, Lamek, very quickly.
Nashuka fe kuna bakalamba mlishani.
Please. Come on, everybody opposition, you want to take a president to win. Well, take a opposition. You will know. If you have
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution, Lamek. We've had quite a number of calls from the Copper Belt. Thank you so much to everybody tuned in on the Copper Belt. Let's see if we can squeeze in last caller. Okay, let's just squeeze in this one, Honorable. Hello, good morning. You are through to the program.
Good morning, how are you, sir?
Very well. Your name and where are you calling us from?
Thank you very much. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Thank you very much. Honorable.
Your name again? Your name?
No, Richard, for the Mikango area.
Mikango?
Yes, Mikango, Chongwe,
Paravana. All right, go ahead with your contribution.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Honorable, Mugamba Musha Mantani Land. I am a land Yanavafuna. It's one of the land Yabetina Kuno. I am a land to have a Singamatai, a Tebuanji, a Paseva, the District Society of Sabia, which is not good. Because the Amaranja Funa, he ran with Andina and Rating about children to a Parasian village. And I forgot my Piconi, Beka from government, that's Pasaveka Matania. And then in a Parantina, I must say Tomorazina. In the case in a court and Yakain and Maratinangua. Some hand off from Nico Chong, to Pasimacada as well. So, one to anchor my problem, my Protiarico, you know, Dosanaton San. Banka Mapora, and was not kill Kurokuran, you know, to Basama soldiers, the police, I mean. The police are not going to call preacher. It's a what class CDF that will perfect the page. The Parapshavan to Mulan, yes, for the commissioning Kuzaku, show ground, Yapuera Kuno. Yarabura foreign Yarabura Kuno, Opshavan to Mulandia Meneo from 2021. So I want to have the Rafura land Yakuno by King of Manjamwao. Now I began to land so often of money. I have to get along with the victimized Gambuchani, some are Funa Bajavan. So a government in Iowa is Style, Puzi, Bona, the Cambian Con, but to enter Mapora and Kuzabata Zimbabwe. But you was right to investigate. Investigation here we are Coca-Cola. You can see what investigation ndani because wafusa abantu wamena wanapishwa Mulandija bali wafusa bandani. Maona. So tikambire nkoni kuti waje abantu wakampepo so pepo lero ikuri mepo manengire but bantu chani
baliche mu mpepo please bantu bakapa mpepo mwe bantu tandizeni baona le bosko kwa mbele.
All right, thank you so much, Richard, for your contribution, calling us from Mikango area.
Let me start with Mr. Chinda Abakumonze. Abachila yumfuati n'ababomba sana fyashire ba PF kwali byo fyashire pakati fyapelele pakati, which they have finished. I want to speak in local language so that everyone can get me. This is what I can express myself. Mr. Chinda mwila ibe party yo ba PF bari shira maskuru ya pelele na pesa PF in terms of infrastructure, even with the CDF UPND doesn't go anywhere near. I wish I can come with a book to tabulate what PF did. Even there in Monze and Choma and there are other places, you can agree with me that PF has left a footprint there. Even that road which is being retired leading to Wengwa from Monze Secondary School there, it was tarred by PF, and someone is putting in more tarred so that it shows a picture that a tarred road, and it was not deteriorated. We don't think we don't move. So if yamula be panati no bali shire bastisha on sama mine na shani bali bastisha mine ba PF bapokele mine ba study with data, and it was still doing dividends ku Bank of Zambia. Go there and you find out they gave it to Miringo as a liquid data. Yes, there were some weaknesses and challenges here and there, but PF never shared the 51% shares. You ask your Minister of Mines, where is the 51% shares? Several times in Parliament. He has failed to explain. And when you look at that, time will come when they have to pay for such. This kind of theft, we will not allow it to continue, and many other factors we will not allow it to continue. If you mafia Zambia, if you Palama Mines, it belongs to all of us. In any case, copper na cobalt ingani copper yeka fe contribute to 69 between 69 to 71% of our export value. So that twalekele omuntu uli wonse kutatale unaola fye chalo ukulabike chuma mu pocket y'abantu ngababe bati mutwele kwisamana nikane duwa kale jwe babu olupya lwa uteko kunapsa bakongwesha contractor bamupela 23 years ataka le collector ama targets ali amano collector kwa bulokupisha omusebo tebupu pubulya kabiye nikutazama mulesanga tazama ilia due bapangira bashire cancellinga after bali ali mu abantu ole ba cancellinga due tukesa tani mukesa shara perete not na panono. Because look, if you mula kitatu leta mbafye, you are calling your PF mpaka mawafunya mpawa. All you wanted is to come and eat. Ama mines no shtatule contra pochi Jones. Ama mineral royalties tamule poka. Na number 14 billion he was lost through million nanikane ama mineral royalties. Then you want to kushinga abantu payments what you are ruling the country boy. Well, we know what is happening. We are aware of what is happening. Then coming to the land, ichi biu chiri mu parliament. Bupu fie. Kufu afio kwa kana land. Na kwa tama target yamo balefu yamo. Na chishibikwa. I'm sure you heard even the president when he was appointing the new commissioner. What did the president say? A new commissioner make sure that the land in state road is not touched because kwa libama title kale. Yari kwa takaliyama title. Who does that? Who does that? The Chongo land is targeted, of course. Palabana land is targeted. It is just Lusaka land that they are talking about. Finish film Lusaka from Lefuaya. Finish film Lusaka. They want to deprive those who had already gotten land, who are targeted as no. The Forest 27. After they discovered that even their people have gotten some land from there, they relaxed. They said they'll break houses. Have they broken the houses? Tatu asuminisha muntu yonso kupoka land kumupina mwina Zambia. Opo aikala mwina Zambia nishali ikala. Ngari kwa title. Na kuchilapo title, you are cancelled through the court process. Ngamwa yako koti mwalubulula. Elo basanga kwa tirala nitapukele. Noti muntu fyafuma kwa SCC. Na ngwafuma what no investigations have been done. Mulebe pana. Chalo chesu wonse chino. You are cheating each other. Umuntu afumile kwa SCC. Eva tuwa ishwalandi kuwa cancelling a title. Ifure apitamu court process. The court should establish that land was illegally gotten. Not if you muntu mo mperi amaka atamona that it was illegally gotten dubiously no fraud and shine. Mulebo mfyane tsungu mubupupu. No, we will not allow that. We will not allow that. That should not be allowed by Zambians. Ichi sungu charira sana vena Zambia pamutwe. Fisa kumomfia chisungu, mwaleta kalifunde, mwavika mwe chisungu, and at the end of the day, when Zambia taveshi funde, it has been introduced. How many people have been jailed over cyber security and Cyber Crimes Act so far? Against the Bill of Rights. Freedom of expression has been suppressed. Freedom of association has been suppressed. Instakulino kupoka ama pate, mwapaka pate, mwapera muntu umbi atiyo ini pate mwina president wa PFU. Mwachitana overlook cap 119. That is lawlessness. That is lawlessness. And Zambians should wake up. That is lawlessness. That is lawlessness. Kuleta biu ya bulana ma objectives. All they want is a registrar to tell registrar kala cancellinga. Ma politicians bakabula molu bali. Nokolanda kabiye paria o cancelling area title, kabiye paria o cancelling a title, depriving Zambians who have gotten titles properly. It is politicians that will be doing that. Registrar wakamvika under pressure. That's why they are appointing these people who are user friendly. Now funamu abantu abengisa na bakweba tuma professionals. But they are appointing people who are user friendly so that they can always give them instructions. Title ile perwa mushina leo kakateka. Yo registrar ya counseling, does it make sense to you? It doesn't. Let us be serious in this country. Then the people talked about loadshedding. The problem of loadshedding is bigger. And in a nangfene win shama manyokola that no to asa pusha so but process yadi ambire muri PF yasa ngele amalight ya chalo chonse yadi par 1.5 kilowatts. They raised to 3.2 kilowatts. Kuli through it is Tesla and it is not debatable that PF also embarked on solar, including the one wa mdala wale surakola kusamba ni PF ya shiredi 100 watts. Ni PF ya shiredi ya nani kanedi. So tepali wingabe party no PF didn't do anything. If ingi ngani energy sector ni PF ya chitire. Energy sector PF performed very good. And we are on the right track. Mwani mwana na jama mdala vesepo wasa mwana ati fyadi kala kune fyama right. He was very excited to say there's no more load shedding. Can he say the same thing today? It's because there is a mess in between. Na kuchalapo bakala mbala mwachala bati na ngutuwabula ama light ya bakumbi kutuchabashani. Na tufile tu achitari structure, tufile tu achitari visit export of power. Tetule bula bambi ule bapela awana bwebale lale nsala. Tefa chifilio kuba yo. Efe ya chitika pama light. Yalanga tuwadiburile kwa kutuwa reduce at least ama hours. Production mcharona ya panshi. It has gone down. Aba achaba filo kusava mama baba shop. Tebonsa wengengela bunasi. Tebonsa wengengela buticha. And inene kesi laba chitapo boss tatuwari ngishe buticha. Basa angireni dalama mchipao $1.3 billion. Iyo wetati special drawing rights. Ewa ngishe mwanasi na waticha nani. Yashilepa 3rd August 2021. Nishitaba ingila mpawa. Ewa ngishe mwanasi na waticha. Muliri ya nyoru pia rudi. So if you boasting, it's a paka Mozambia, we take on so why sapo. Mr. Dick Stevia kino jet. Kwena banensu bali tuvombela bali tushako paso. Na foto wala bikapo. If you take off Kirokuva. Instead of when you
60 seconds to wrap up.
There's a good factor. That one of our brothers said when he says 6 million hectares were supposed to be sold. You know that I was also involved in making sure that those 6 million hectares were not sold. That was just flaunting. It was not even those is it Vietnamese without capacity who wanted to buy that. No, tabako tena capacity ya kushita mpanga bali yo. Mwaliti obukulu kwa ba ingire mwabali kanale kaneba ingire mom. And generally someone also talked about victimization. Yes, there's a lot of victimization. There's no democracy. That's why I think you should heard me when I was debating the 6th National Development Plan. I talked about governance and I said that the governance that we envisioned and the governance that we desire is not what is happening. People are being victimized, and then the governance sector, when people are, when we have selective justice in Zambia, when people are being divided to say, ngandea kukoti, nganebo PF nchimfile na shibati, kuliana alamu kukakwa. Efa chiri Muzambia. Na mwishachi tomola ndubala ya fuwairikisha hapo somewhere. Babele ngenama paper that no, uyumula ndutu wa musanga no, you just to inconvenience me. Some of the people that are in jail are in jail because they are outspoken. They are in jail because bali minister, bali kulile kwa kanganda. And yet we have a lot of people that have built houses who are scot-free. Some of them who have built houses have built these houses illegally. They are not being followed, but because they are not politicians, they have not been victimized. And I think this issue of Ingamafu Ndea Cyber Law Cyber Crimes Act na Cyber Security Act yale bomba fe kuli ba opposition kumita le bomba na chimbi chibipireko. We have a situation where abantu tabalekwa malaries because IG ngabata applied on sekoland that no the peace is none, but we have seen by UPND having a rally resoning so that time wasa kwata ferali kwatu wo ayapuka fye akwatalali is a youth chairperson for crying out loud.
We'll have to leave it there.
So this kind of imbalance has to be
thank you so much,
yes.
Honorable, for coming through. And
yes, we are really in a democracy. That's my conclusion. And let us operate and make sure that people are on board, like in a democracy.
Okay.
Not if to reach in dictatorship.
All right. Thank you so much for coming through for the program today. We know that you are very busy, and perhaps you'll be back at for parliamentary work. But thank you so much, and wish you all the best.
I am really humbled, and I appreciate every caller. I wish that I had more time to tabulate each and every aspect, but I think this is the limitation that I've been given, and I think let Zambians wake up. That is my call.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Up next to do have the news brief. Just after that, Chupo comes on with today's edition of Lifestyle. Thank you so much. You can join me on Wednesday for another exciting edition of Chat Back on Wednesday. Good morning.